I'm Kevin O'Hara for Alcohol Mastery. Today I wanted to talk about one of the benefits of quitting drinking. You know, one of the most beautiful things about my life without alcohol at the moment is the fact that I can get up every morning and I know there's not going to be any horrible feelings. I'm going to be able to be the same most days, feel not this huge up and down thing that I used to feel. And I never used to feel hangovers, or I think when you're young you feel them a lot less, partly because you're drinking a lot less alcohol, and I think partly because there's a sort of a bragging thing with not admitting it, by being a man, not saying, well, I don't feel hangovers, too tough for that. Bullshit, I remember one of the first times that I ever went out and got really blathered on spirits, and I spent the night, I think I must have been sort of 18, 19, and I remember coming home. I had to be almost carried home, and I had my head stuck down this toilet, and my father was behind me as I'm dry retching, and he was laughing, and he thought it was hilarious, and he was going, that'll teach you, that'll teach you, And it's one of the things that sticks in my mind, because I was thinking at that moment, I would love to could just give you one good punch now, but I knew that he was much stronger than I was, and he'd knock me out. But I remember the next morning, and the most awful hangover that I ever thought. And I didn't drink, seriously, I didn't drink for a long time after that. It took me a while before I ever went drinking again. So the fact that I'm saying, yeah, no more hangovers, I did feel them. So when we talk about hangovers, what exactly do we mean? There's always the pain after the gain. But what exactly is a hangover, and what does it do to your body? Well, we all know how easily it is to get the alcohol down in the first place, and for me, the ultimate goal always was to drink until I couldn't drink anymore, on most occasions anyway. And I think even in the early days, as soon as that first drop of alcohol touches your system, I think your security system starts to kick in. So in the early days, it'll make you dizzy, and one of the biggest ways of trying to, I suppose, stop you from doing it again, or to say, well, this is bad, is when you start vomiting. Nobody likes to do that. So, but it's a protective way of your body, getting rid of the stuff in the first place, and that shows you that it's a bloody poison. I've heard people saying, well, when you wake up in the morning and you haven't got the numbing effect of the alcohol anymore in your system, that's when you start to feel the withdrawal. And whatever way you want to call this thing, it's the effects of the poisoning. I've heard that as a description for an alcoholic is that the later you go in your drinking life, and the more you drink, that the withdrawal is in effect the alcoholism, that it's your need for another drink. But in essence, the withdrawal is the consequence of the drink that you've already drunk, not because you need more. We tend to go for more alcohol because in some ways it alleviates the horrible feelings, it alleviates the symptoms of the poisoning. When as far as symptoms go, that's one of the few medical parts of it, is that once you are poisoned, it is a medical condition then. So apart from the alcohol poisoning, one of the other reasons why you're hungover and why you feel bad is because you're probably completely dehydrated. There is a natural chemical in your body called vasopressin, and that regulates the amount of water that's contained in your system. We're made of whatever 70-75% water, and that has to be constantly monitored and regulated so that you don't have too little, you don't have too much, and alcohol suppresses this. So alcohol suppresses the vasopressin and causes all sorts of havoc. One of the things that it does, while your body is screaming out for water, is that your brain starts to shrink, and I don't know if it's rattling around in your head, but I always used to get really bad headaches when I had the hangover. And other factors of the hangover include irritation of the stomach. You've got electrolyte imbalances, lack of sleep, all the other crap that's in the alcohol that was in the alcoholic drinks that you've been drinking, amongst the many other different things that are causing the bad feeling, But I'd say mostly it's the alcohol poisoning, the toxins in your body. If no matter what poison you take into your system, I would presume I've never been poisoned by. I've had food poisoning, and that was fairly bad, but that was a different sort of a thing. But I felt just as bad as hangover with it. So in the beginning, you were talking about hangovers and reactions to alcohol that are, your body is just, what the hell is this? And if you wind the clock on maybe 10 or 20 years into the future, and you've gone through this hangover thousands of times now, you've gone through the whole thing, the whole cycle of drinking and getting drunk and sobering up and recovering, and that eventually is going to take its toll on your system, on your organs, on your muscles, your joints, your blood, your brain. As you age, anyway, these things are not going to work as well as they used to do anyway. But you're adding a lot more pressure and a lot more. You're speeding up the damage, really. So the older you get, the more hangovers you're going to experience, and just because of this extra damage. So really, that's one of the benefits of quitting drinking, is that you will never have a hangover ever again, which is absolutely brilliant. Wake up with a smile on your face instead. So if you have any questions or comments about that, leave a comment below, or go over to YouTube if you're on YouTube and leave a comment there. Also, you can sign up for the newsletter, which is absolutely free. There's a new book coming out soon. It's 7 Steps to Alcohol Freedom, and you can also get Stop Drinking Alcohol at the moment on the website and the audiobook. If you've already bought the book, could you do me a massive favour and leave a comment over on Amazon? It doesn't have to be long, just 1 or 2 sentences. It just helps to bring the book up in the rankings, and everything here, all the things that I do here, making the videos and the website and stuff, are all funded by the books now. So I'd really appreciate it if you do that. Until next time, I'm Kevin O'Hara for Alcohol Mastery. Onwards and upwards.